Welcome back to my channel. Today I'm playing with my counterfeit kit challenge for April, and I'm also doing the challenge 2, which was doing stars, hearts, or gears 3 ways. I chose stars, and the sketch. So the sketch will be up at the top for reference as I do this. I do have it at the side right now, and these are all the papers I have left on my counterfeit still for April. My goodness. Obviously, I'm not going to get through them, but I did get quite a few pages done this month, and considering I did have surgery, I think I'm doing pretty good. But I left this in because I didn't actually do a kit reveal because that's when my surgery was. So, but I did put a kit together based on the colors that were in the sneak peek. So I thought maybe this one would be nice. It's a summer collection from Echo Park. Tracy Reed designed it. I like her stuff. Yeah. And then just some other stuff that's in here. I don't actually use the sun page. I put the stars to the side. That was an American craft piece paper. And yeah, pull it back. I'm going to use that paper, but it's not going to be used in the way I thought it was going to be used. There's some embellishments from that summer collection. I was just seeing if there's something I could use. And then I have the 6x6 paper pack. This was a kit that I got when, well, Echo Park is still sending out kits, but for a while there, I wasn't paying the same amount for shipping, and then they increased shipping. So I was like, I guess not, but yeah, it is what it is. And then this is some of the other stuff that I have left. I used this a lot this month, so it is what it is. And obviously I had a lot of papers in my kit this month, so it works. I thought maybe this green one would work, but then I'm just thinking about how to do that triangle piece in the sketch. But when I put my pictures on it, it just, the blue that I picked out that matches her shirt doesn't go, and I'm not gonna use it. So I'm gonna use this star paper, and just this star paper. It's a scrap. There's not even, obviously there's not 12 inches there. And I'm totally gonna go different direction here in a minute, but that's okay. So I'm trying to use my grid mat underneath just to get a nice size triangle. Wasn't as, it should have been bigger. Should have totally been bigger. It's okay. I don't use it this way, and that's totally fine. I have these 2 triangle pieces still left, I think, actually. It's all good. So I'm going to play with it for a little bit, and I don't know if it was the crossing over in the middle that bothered me or what it was. It just, when I got the pictures on, just didn't sit as well as I wanted it to. So, oh well, that happens. I'm going to rough it up a little bit. And trying to just think about how this is going to sit. It's okay. I don't know. So pulled out a stamp set because there are some stars in that background, and when I committed to the star paper, I knew I was going to do both challenges and not just the sketch challenge. I had it in my mind that I'd probably do the sketch and the second one with the stars or hearts or something. Gears is the something. But when I chose this paper, that's when I decided I was definitely going to do the stars 3 ways. So the stamps that I have is from Studio Calico, and it was one of their stamp kits. I'm not sure if it's still available, but any stars you have would do when I get to this. I'm just trimming down that blue a little bit. I'm going to end up trimming it more, but yeah, for now, that's what it is. This came together actually pretty quickly because I had an appointment to be at. So I only had 45 minutes to scrap, and so yeah, this looks pretty fast because I did speed it up a bit, but I didn't have to cut too much out. So it is what it is. But 45 minutes is not too bad for layout for me. Sometimes they take longer, sometimes they don't take as long. So yeah. So just picking out some of the stars that are in this set. So this set has lots and lots and lots of stars. So I really like the stars that are in this one. And then I'm going to use this Hero Arts in this blue color. I don't know what it's called. If you want to know what this blue is called, just let me know in the comments and I will go look. But or if you can zoom in. I don't know if you can zoom in and see that or not. I can't zoom in and see it right now. So yeah, it is what it is. So I'm just going to put this on the diagonal across my page a bit. A lot of this is going to get covered up, but that's okay. And then this one's a little bigger, so I just wanted to sneak it in a couple places because I really like that star. And I really like Studio Calico stamps. They typically go on really nice. And yeah, don't usually have to fight with them, which I like. So I didn't have to pull out my stamp platform to do them. I knew they were just gonna stamp pretty good. So then I'm still trying with these triangles, and I'm like, oh, I don't like this. What else can I do? So I decided to try a different shape of triangle. So instead of being as quite as the isosceles is, this one ends up being more of a scalene triangle. So all the sides are not the same. If I wanted to do it properly, I should have just done an equilateral triangle because that's what's in the sketch. But I really didn't want to pull out a protractor and do it properly, and my mat wasn't cutting it. So meh. These aren't big enough. I'm like, no. Well, what can I do? Well, I want to use the stars 3 ways, so I'm going to fussy cut some of these out. So I'm not going to make you watch me fussy cut off screen. So there's a few cut out there. And then I'm going to trim the rest of this blue down. So now it's a smidgen. And then I'm going to take that star paper and I'm going to mat my pictures so that that color is around the pictures so that it ties in a bit, and erase the pencil line that I had. And I am not using my trimmer today, even though it's right there, because I just wasn't feeling using my trimmer. I don't know. Do you ever have days like that where you're like, oh, I can't, I'm just not going to use my trimmer? Today was one of them. So I'm going to put this pink star down here, and I'm being strategic because now that I've cut this paper, I also know that I have a whole bunch of stars that are going to be missing ends and tips and that kind of stuff. So I cut out a whole bunch, and I didn't make you watch me do that because look at a whole bunch done. And then I'm going to place them down, kind of trying to strategically decide how I want them. I didn't want them like scattered everywhere. I wanted still that idea of a triangle, even though now I've decided I'm not using the pattern paper in behind as a triangle. So my stars are going to be kind of triangle-ish. And I actually end up really liking the way the layout turns out now that I've changed directions a little bit. And it still has the essence of the sketch. And I think that's what's most important when you're playing with a sketch, is you continue to get the essence or some of the essence of the sketch, even just an element, if that's what ends up happening. I have a little more than just one element, so that works for me because I have the two pictures and they are diagonal. I have these paper stars are actually going to be set up in a triangle-ish shape, and then I do have the stamped stars that are in a similar spot. I'm just measuring out with my fingers where this should go for the star. And so ish, right? Ish. And my title will go in the same spot too. So cutting out another orange one because this orange one I wanted another orange one that had, there's one beside that I could have used, but I could have done the one. Just fussing a little bit. There doesn't actually get to be any other embellishments on this other than these stars and one more type of star, because stars three ways, right? So get those pictures down. I'm going to come back in with my stamps and do a little bit more of the little stars just to fill up some of that area. So my stars are not going to be just in that back end, like on the top and the bottom. I did think about using the stencil just as a line guide, but it wasn't going to work quite like I was thinking it would have. That's totally okay. And some more. And so I am doing some second generation and third generation stamping so that I get different depths of color for the stars so that they're not all the same. And then title time. So I thought wood veneer would be great because I do know that I should have some stars in wood veneer. I'm going through my box now. Had I not had the stars in my wood veneer, I found 3 of them. I think those are the last 3 I have. But if I hadn't, I do have some blue puffy stickers that were going to be my backup that I definitely know I have fairly close to my workspace right now. These 3 stars are all the same size. I think they were Studio Calico, but could be Allie Edwards. I don't know. They're stars. The Yum is a dollar store alphabet, and underneath it says hashtag pick of the day, and that I believe is an Allie Edwards. And then I'm doubling up this one because I've decided that it needs to be on top of the picture. And then this will cover the seam and get the title on. And centered-ish. Good enough. This is Nouveau Deluxe glue. I got one of those presses like yesterday. Haven't used it yet, obviously, but yay, I'm going to try it out. Lots and lots and lots of crafters have it. You can see that there's yellow on the other side of that one. That's just Nouveau drops that I used it for a different layout, and the yellow didn't quite match what I was doing, and so I threw it back in my box, and it sticks just fine on the other way, and whatever, not a big deal. I did put a little bit of ink on my block with some water, and it was not splattering like I wanted it to, and I was on a time crunch, didn't want to go get some more water, so I'm going to use my glimmer mist, which is almost the same color anyway, so it pulls in that blue. And I had that long piece of whatchamacallit over top of Matea's face so that the splatter didn't get there. And then I am just making sure that some of the ink ran in that Yum, and so I just wanted to spread it out on that a little bit. And then I'm almost done, so I'm just going to clean up the picture. And then I'm going to use my fist and smush this. It's kind of like packaging technique, but I smushed it on the bottom corner and I liked what it looked like, so I did it on the other ones. And then here are some close-ups. And there'll be some still shots to follow. That is a massive hot dog she's eating, by the way. She's about 3 there and really tried to shove the whole thing in her mouth. So we were at Heritage Park and when we could eat there. So she wasn't gluten intolerant yet. So yay, Yum, pick of the day. She loved those hot dogs. So if you liked my video, please give me a thumbs up. If you're new to my channel, I would love to have you here, so you could subscribe by clicking my face. And otherwise, there's some other videos here. Thank you so much for watching. Have yourself a wonderful day.